Hey guys, it's Dave. I'm back. Sorry about that. I had lots of phone calls to deal with. So yeah, we could do a title screen uh, to put ahead of the game, like a lot of other games we've played. Before we get started, though, let's look at something. We brought in one of these aliens, right? Uh, you hit play, though, and the alien's moving around. That's not going to work for what we want to do. So here's a trick. I'm going to make a duplicate of this alien. Excuse me. But if I put one alien on top of another alien, do you notice? They won't move. And if you remember, it's because when we made the rules to move an alien, the rule said if I'm an alien and there's nothing in front of me, I should be able to move into that nothing. But the beginning of that rule says if I'm an alien, if that's the only thing in the box. So all we have to do is place something else in that box and the movement gets stopped. You see that? So I want to take advantage of that little trick to make a title screen. So we've been calling this Click Space Game. I know, not a very original name. But let's see if we can't do something with that. Like that. Say there's a C. If we do it that way, see if we can do an L. Can we do an I? An I is an easy one, right? Another C. Yeah, we got room. We got room. We can move around in a minute. Let's see. And then I don't know if I got enough room down here, so I'm going to see. Can we make a K? A K down here. Now this is going to be an interesting one because I'm not sure how a K might look. Maybe. Oh wow, maybe something like that. See, all the other letters are 3 wide, so yeah, maybe something like that. Ooh, wow, that's a toughie. Maybe if this was up here and this was down here. Actually, I think that looks a little bit more like a K. So now let's see what we can do. If you take your mouse and drag across a bunch of characters, you can manipulate all of them at once. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is move them all over because I noticed, whoops, that there were 2 spaces here. Then let's grab this K and see how much room we get over here. Come in. Okay. And then it looks like we got 1 space over here, and what is this, about 3? Let's turn this grid on for a minute. Now it's only 2. Okay. Actually, I think because we're going to have some more words, I'm going to put this actually way up top. How about there? Yeah. Okay. So there we got click. We could go space game, in big letters too, but that's going to take up the majority of the screen. So actually thinking about that, let's bring this down to here, and then we'll take a look at something else. I'm going to leave the grid on to make the next piece a little easier. I'm going to come up to this drawer called Special, and we're going to grab a text object, and I'm going to place that in this box. And at present, it's 2 blocks wide and a block tall. What I want to do is point right at the edge and double click, and you get its rule window just like other characters. And I need to open up its variables. And you'll notice that text objects have a lot of variables that we can tweak. Well, the first thing I want to do is span it out. So here is height. I think we'll say I want it to be 2 blocks high. And let's see what we got for width. Let's try 15. Ooh, that's pretty good. Let's go 2 more to make it the same width. There we go. And now we've got the words. And I think what I'm going to do here is just in capital letters, I'm going to say space game. See that? All right, now we'll make it look a lot nicer. So the first thing we're going to do is center that text. And where are they hiding that? Over here, alignment. So I am going to center the words. Then let's make the words a lot bigger. Let's try 24. No, we could go bigger. Try 32. Ooh, getting there. How about 48? Oh, there we go. And then I thought we could do something like make it boldface. Yeah, there we go. You don't have too many choices for font. You see that? There's Times New Roman, and there's Courier. So really, I think Helvetica is going to be the best looking one. All right. Now there are these settings for offsets. That determines how much space you see above. Notice there's more white space above the letters than there are below. If I was to offset the Y, which is the up and down, notice it's set to 5, it would bring this up. But I think I'm going to try something different. I'm going to grab the box, again, by the edge, and I'm going to move the entire box up a row so that you actually have this gap of space. And then we are going to change the color of the words. Notice they're in black and there's a black background. So let's go to the text color and let us try, I'm going to go with the purple to kind of go with the little line that we got in here. And then the last thing is if I click outside, that's what it looks like right now. Okay, that's not too bad. However, I don't like the box. So if we take this and we can either go to transparent, meaning then you could see the grid, or black, either way it'll work. Okay, the grid won't show up anyways. We'll turn the grid off later. You see that? If I do turn the grid off, you'll also see that there's a border around that text box, and you can get rid of that by turning this off. So we're going to pop that. All right, now if I turn the border off, or the grid, there you go. Click space game. You see that? And then I think the last thing we would need to do is go back into special, grab another text box, and I'm going to close this text box. We'll double click this guy. And what did we say? We said let's make this one 3 high and this one 17 wide. And we will center it again. And before we change the sizing or anything, this box we'll use just to create a little scenario and some instructions. So let's say our region of space is being invaded by a horde of 20 alien ships. You are our only savior. Can you click each alien to rid it from our sector of space? Be careful, though, because there's a lot of other space. Should we call it debris? Space-borne. How about that? Space-borne entities flying around. If they do enough damage, all is lost. Can you save our galaxy? How's that? Okay, short and sweet. Let's see. Now this time, let's see. We had the alignment. They don't have vertical alignment. However, we'll take a look at that in a second. Let's try making this maybe size 14. Ooh, yeah, pretty good size. We'll keep Helvetica. I do like the bold because it makes it stand out a little bit, but let's go one step further. We'll try bold italic. And then how about the color white for the words? And then we'll say, this time we'll do transparent, and we'll get rid of the border. How's that look? Our region of space is being invaded by a horde of 20 alien ships. You are our only savior. Can you click each alien to rid it from our sector of space? Be careful, though, because there's a lot of other spaceborne entities flying around. If they do enough damage, all is lost. Can you save our galaxy? Awesome. The last thing we want to do is we want to create a button down here that would allow us to leave the title screen and go into the other screen. Before we do that, though, let's come back up here to the title. You notice we made the title, but there's only one alien. You see that? So we are actually going to need to create a second copy on top of each one. And these extras I'm just going to start putting on the L. Okay? And again, I'll show you how to fix that, or how to double check that in a second. Let's finish the L. Okay, so let's go back to the C. If it's alone and you click it, it highlights with that yellow box. If there happens to be more than one, watch what happens. You see, a little pop-up happens. So you just want to make sure that you do indeed have two or more in each box. Now see this one? Okay, whoops. That's telling us that, ooh, look at that. Okay, so that's telling us that on those two, we only had one alien. Okay, if we miss one and we hit play, they're going to start flying around, you see. So I want to make sure that we get them all. Oh, that's weird. Okay, let's see, I'll grab this one. And let's check the L. Good. 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 If it doesn't look like it pops up like that one, you'll also notice that it doesn't display the yellow box. You see that? So that's how you'll know. Click, drag down, let go. Yeah. 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 Okay. All right. I will just speed through the rest of this because we're running late on time to make sure that we have enough. All right. And the last one. Okay. All right. So now I'm just going to take a test here. First of all, just in case, I want to save it. Okay. So just in case I missed one, hit play. Nothing should move. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So now what I need to do is make one more copy of an alien and put it down here. And I'm going to go into the appearances. And I'm going to create a fifth appearance. But this time we're going to call it button. And we're going to zoom out. I think 4 wide should be good for this one. I'm going to clear this out. And let's see. And for a matter of time, we're just going to make this easier. So what else do we got? We've got... Oh, maybe we'll do some more of that blue. We're going to make a solid rectangle, and we'll do that trick we did before. We'll make one shape, and then we'll make another shape and color it. So we'll make this the shadow, okay? And then we will copy that. Control C, Control V. I'll put it down here, and we'll make it a slightly darker blue. Then we will move it on top of the lighter shade of blue. See that? Just a quick way of creating a shadow. And then the last thing I want to do is properly position it within the grid. And I want this one to be on that top row, centered as much as I can. You see that? Okay. Notice that this anchor is in the wrong place. So we're going to click the anchor, put that in the right place. All right, the last thing we want to do, and I might do this in a bright green maybe, is, yeah, that's a good size. So we're going to say bold, start game. Okay. Now this time I wrote it up here instead of down here because I want you to see that thing I talked about. See, it's not centered, so we need to highlight it so that we can move it. And here's the thing. See, it takes everything along. So we'll deal with it for this time around. So that looks about centered there. Then I'll use the eyedropper tool to pick up the correct blue and then fill it in. You see that? Okay, I'm going to leave it lit so that this guy turns into it. There it goes. And look, as it turns out, that looks like it's pretty centered. Now, if I hit play, notice it moves around. That's because it's still technically an alien. So we're going to do the same trick. We're going to create a double, put it on top so that it doesn't move. Okay. All right, I'm going to save this. And then the last thing that has to happen, and I'm going to get rid of some of these windows, is that we have a rule that says when I click this start button, it's going to jump into the game. All right. Well, in order for that to happen, we're going to have to do a couple of things. The first thing I want to do is go into this two-stage mode. And I'm actually going to scroll this stage over so I can totally see this. Then I'm going to bring the game stage over here. Now, if you remember, this graphic was originally one of the blue aliens from this stage. All right, and there's a reason I did that. I want this graphic here to come to this stage. It's real easy to say, yeah, go to this stage. But if we don't bring another character with us, the game will go to the stage. But we, the people on the outside of the game, won't go to the stage and you won't see what's going on. Okay? So what I'm going to try to do, and this one we're just going to have to take our chances on because we need to move this character into the space zone. What I mean by take our chances is, will we end up in a place that doesn't have an alien, or will we end up on the same spot as another alien? Okay, it's just going to have to be a chance we take. All right, so here's how we're going to do that. Before we make the rule, there's another global variable that we need to look at, and it's this guy down here called follow me. The follow me rule says wherever a particular character goes, the software will follow the character. So if this character was to leave this stage and enter this stage, we would also go to this stage. So I'm going to grab this character and I'm going to drop it into follow me. You see that? Okay, now I'll put this back where it's supposed to be. All right, so when this character goes here, because it's in follow me, the whole sim will go here. All right, well then here's how that rule looks. I'm going to click on it. Remember, there's two of them, and that's going to be important to the rule. Okay, so over here, the rule says if I'm the start game button, but actually it's saying if I'm one of two start game buttons. Do you see that? Okay, and they click on the button, anywhere in the button. Okay, then what should happen? Well, there's a couple things. I'm going to use this little local variable button on the button. And one of the variables says, where are you? Which stage are you on? And I want to say I want to go from the title stage to the game stage. Look at this. See how it just popped in? Now it actually took it to the exact position that it was here. Okay. I am going to, we're going to try to take an educated guess here. If we can get it to be in one of the corners, I'm going to assume that statistically the corners might be the safest place to place it without there being another alien. Now, if you remember, we've got the two counters in these corners. All right, so what I'm going to try to then do is say change the position. Okay, so look. One is this character here, this column. And then I believe, was it 14? Yeah, 14 is the top of the stage. Okay. Now, I don't know if you saw or not, but there was an alien right here, but that's okay. We want it to go here. And then the last thing we want it to do is to change back to the blue alien. You see that? Okay. So if we take a look, I'm going to make this a little bigger. We take a look at all these actions. We're moving the character into a new stage. We are repositioning the character within that stage, and we are changing what it looks like. Okay, now because all of these exist within the same rule, it's going to happen so fast, you're not going to ever see this Start Game button over here. You see that? And I'm just going to call this Start Game. All right, we'll hit Done. There is that alien. Now if I come back here and show you, there's only the one button. I'm going to hit back. That alien disappears. We're back to 2 buttons. Okay. All right, I'm going to go back to single player or single stage. I'm going to save it. And now we should be able to have a working title screen to go with our game. Let's check it out. Play. They can read this. They can read the instructions. Oh yeah, I'm ready to defend the galaxy. They click this. And uh-oh. Did you see what happened? Now, I'm not sure why. I know why. All right, this guy started moving around because the other guy disappeared. And I'm wondering, I think I know why. We created 2 of these. The follow me says follow one of them. Now let's take a look. All right, this says follow aliens 80. All right, let's see what this is. Aliens 80. Now, if we go into stages and we look at the game stage, here's that alien. Alien 79. Do you see the difference? Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Remember, we saved it before we played it, so I'm going to reset it. All right, this should be 2, right? Yeah. I'm going to double-click the top one. And to make it a little easier, I'm going to call it not Aliens 80, but Button. Okay. All right, Button. So it's going to follow Button. Okay. That guy there. Now, if I needed the other guy, I could single click, get this menu, and then double click the bottom one, and that's Alien 79. Okay, but since Button is on top, that should be enough to fix it. So we're going to say, where is it? Save. All right, let's try that again. Play it. Click it. Oh, now something's interesting. Okay, hold on. Let's see, what might not be going right? Reset. We're going to try one more thing, and it's going to be on this rule. We're going to come back to the left. Okay, if the appearance is Button, let's add to say if, if the name of the character is Button. And actually, you know what we'll do? We'll get rid of the appearance check, and it'll be replaced. And I'll just reorder this to make it a little easier. So if you are a alien character, but your name is Button, and I click on you. All right, so let's try that. Maybe we'll need to do that. Okay, let's try that. Bang, there we go. Okay, and again, nothing froze. So I'm going to hit stop. I'm going to hit reset. And then again, I said we were taking our chances, but that's actually not right either, because look, we finished the game and we saved it, right? If we were to bring game in, we could check that location. Now I notice this comet is kind of close. I could physically move that comet, right? Go back to the title, save it, it always remembers where you were in the sim or save. Okay? And then if I hit play, and I'm actually going to try slowing it way down. Watch this corner of the screen when I click Start Game. Did you notice? There was nothing there. Okay, it looked like it disappeared, but it was only because it came up out of this corner, you see. Okay, now we need to get back to where, ooh, that's too big. So I think on this game, I think second speed is going to be good. Okay, all right, so we're going to go back to reset. We're at second speed. Good, I'm going to save it one more time. All right. Okay, now, before we say that this will be the end of it, let's get out of the player. And I'm hoping this is still recording. Let me double check, guys. Okay, ooh, yeah, we're still recording. Okay. We've been using the creator, right? So let's take a look at the player. Okay, this is what the player looks like. Now, according to what Stagecast people tell us, you can give the player to anybody, all right, for free, all right, and then they can play stuff you create, all right. So I'm going to say open a sim. Notice the difference here. There's only two options, right? I'm going to open a sim, and again, I've got a folder on my desktop, and we are going to come down to Stagecast, and here's click space game. All right, now look at this. You've only got 2 items over here, and you've only got a couple of the items down here. Notice what's missing over here. You can't add characters. You can't change appearances, right? You do have this button, and this is also a reset button. Okay, so I could hit play. I could go into the game, and, oh, this one's not lit. Oh, that's interesting. What is that? Oh, if I hit stop, okay. Yeah, see that? Okay, now let's see. Okay, see, you're getting a little bit of a lighter menu in here as well. You see that? But this is the player that gives your people the ability to play the game. Okay? All right, well, this is going to finish our first set of videos to show you how we can play around with Stagecast. Again, this was done in the evaluation version. There's a lot you could do in the evaluation version, but there are so many more things you can do in the full version. So our next set of videos is going to start using the full version, okay? So this will be the last time we use this. Well, I hope that this has been enough to get you enticed to give this software a chance. Really, it's up to your imagination what kinds of things you do, all right? All right, my name is Dave. This is Stagecast. Hope you had some fun learning a little bit more about it, and I hope to see you soon in a future video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.